because there is no answer in the book. I just want you, we're kind of like getting into characters. So you're sort of imagining what would your character's favorite animal be? So that's question number 1. If you were an animal, well, it's not favorite, it's if you were an animal, which animal would you be? This is according to your character. I should have got hello, my name is.
What character she would be, or like what character?
You're answering from, that's a great question. You're answering from her point of view. So here she is saying, if I were an animal, I would be a this. So you kind of have to determine how much self-knowledge your character has in order to answer this. Like Mr. Collins might be like, I am a ferocious tiger or something. Oh, it's CHARLOTTE. So, if you were an animal, which animal would you be? Let's do another kind of easy one. Let's do, what is your dream vacation? I think I'm going to write these on the board so we don't lose track. Okay, here's a kind of more substantial one. Oh, you're still writing, sorry. Here's your dream vacation as your character. Okay, now we're going to get into more substantial things. So, why do you think people should get married? From your character's perspective, Lady Catherine de Bourgh, why should people get married? Or Mr. Wickham. Maybe they shouldn't if you're Mr. Wickham. Okay, let's do this next one. Okay, what are the top 3 considerations when choosing who to marry? Whom to marry? So what are the top 3 considerations you need to have when choosing someone to marry? You could think of this as top 3 qualities that other person needs to have. Okay, the next question, it's okay if you're still working on the last one, but the next question is, what is your number 1 obligation in life? Like the top priority obligation that you have? What are you obliged to do most?
I never put that those two words go together.
What?
Obligation and like,
Obliged.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You're obliged to do your obligations. You're having like an epiphany.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
wow. My mind is gone.
Okay, let's do another fun one. What's your favorite food? Doesn't have to be historically accurate. It's like what England and the, I'm just going by what I know from Great British Bake Off. It was just like all game pastries and hot water crust, right? Seems pretty nasty. Usually I get hungry when I watch that show, but whenever they make those like meat pie things, I'm always just like, no, thank you. You guys watch that, right? Or is that just an old person thing?
Well, I used to watch it.
Oh, okay. I think the favorite food question, a lot of it is about like how indulgent you are. You gonna go with cake or are you gonna go with like broccoli, you know? Who's ready to move on to the next question? Raise your hand. Okay, all right. Let's do how important is money to your happiness? This one might be kind of easy for everyone. It's just sort of like very important. Not sure. Okay, and change this question because I think all of them want to maintain good relationships with their neighbors, but I think they all have different reasons for doing it. So why should you maintain good relationships with your neighbors according to your character? I just put the last two questions up here. So number 9, what type of music do you listen to? Again, regardless of year, so they could be listening to, I don't know, sea shanties if they want to. And then number 10, what are your views on the roles of men and women in society? So, and I mean in their society, not like for working class men or women, but for their sort of upper class stuff. That will be it. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you the next part. You can still be working on your answers, but for the next part, you're basically going to be gathering evidence for your position. So you're going to choose 2 of the starred questions. These are the more substantial questions that are actually like you can find evidence for them in the book for each of these characters. They might be a little bit more of a reach to interpret the text that way for some of them, because Elizabeth, we obviously know what's in her head far more often than we know what's in Charlotte's head, but you can still find evidence at least filtered through one of the characters' perspectives. So you're going to choose 2 of the starred questions that you were interested in for your character, and you are going to find an instance of textual evidence for each of those questions. So if you say, I'm going to find evidence for this one, and I'm going to find evidence for the money question. They need to be 2 separate incidents. I don't want you to just have one quote that kind of provides evidence for both, but then you find a quote for this one and a quote for that one. And you don't have to copy the quote out, just write like on your page, just write the page number and maybe like the beginning of the quotation so that you can find it again. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. I'm gonna give you like 5 to 10 minutes to do that. It's a long book, so if you're like, I can't remember where this part is, I might be able to help you with it. Yeah, they're on the back shelf.